Game 2 of 44 tonight for the Wareham Gatemen against the YD Red Sox in Boston at Monan Park, home of the BC High Eagles, where 1-0 Wareham will take on the 1-1 YD Red Sox. Gabe Genovese here with you alongside Jonah Karp. And before we get to tonight's game, opening night, a 3-1 victory for Wareham. Jonah, what went right in that ballgame?
Story of the game was Bryce Elder, starting pitcher for the Wareham Gatemen. He retired the first 10 batters he faced. That was pretty remarkable. Really set the tone for Wareham. Did give up one run, but didn't really matter. It was a close game, but it was a low-scoring game.
Yeah, low-scoring ball game. Let's take a look at the few highlights there were from opening night. From Spillane Field in Wareham, Massachusetts, opening day. Cape Cod Baseball League is a swing and a miss by Tyler Gentry there. Pitch to the righty, swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. Guangarena will throw down to first, and that'll do it. 1-2-3 inning for Elder to start this season. The 2-2 curveball catches the outside corner, strike three, he froze him. Noah Dickerson, that bat didn't leave his shoulder. 1-2 swing and a miss on a curveball. It's got that 12-6 action, and Elder's in a groove through three.
Sophomore second baseman from the University of Arkansas. Where takes a rip and swings right through it. The 1-2. Foul tip into the mitt of Guangarena, and that's how the top of the fourth comes to an end.
The 1-1. This time he slashes one into center field, and it lands a base hit for Baker, and that takes a weird hop over the center fielder Reback. Coming around third, Wesniak will score. Baker's in with an RBI triple, and the Gatemen lead 1-0 here in the third. The 1-1. Line drive, base hit, right field, and that'll score a run. Rudick holds up at second. Baker jogs home, and it's an RBI single for Mike Antico. 2-0 Gatemen here in the third.
Struck out to end the first inning. 0 for 1. The pitch, line drive in the air, falling quickly in left field. Coming on and making the catch is Mike Antico, and Dews goes back to first base. Mike Antico flashing the leather in left field, and there's two away in the top of the fourth.
Pretty play by Antico out there in left. Wasn't quite sure if he would have to dive or not. Ended up diving, just kind of getting on his knees and making that catch. Pretty play by the St. John's left fielder.
Just not enough to dead center. The pitch, lifted in the air, shallow left field, ranging under it, Mike Antico all the way back to the wall. He leaps, and that ball is gone. Rather, it's not. I think they're going to say it's off the wall. Standing on second base right now is Collette. He holds, line drive, straightaway center field, drops in for a base hit. Diving stop by Reback, it gets behind him. Rudick takes a wide turn at third base. He'll come home to score. Throw goes into third, cut off, and in standing at third base is Cam Guangarena with an RBI triple, and it's a 3-1 lead for Wareham.
To hit. First pitch to him, hit pretty well into center, but straight to Rudick, and that'll be the ball game. The Gatemen win 1-0 on this 2019 season. Wareham 3, Brewster 1, the final. There it was, 3-1 your final on opening night, and you talked about it a little before the highlights, but it was really Bryce Elder who got that whole thing rolling, was really efficient through 4.
Absolutely. The one thing that stood out to me, Gabe, about Bryce's performance was how efficient he was, just how quickly he was working. He was able to get into a rhythm early, and that set the tone, and it really prevented Brewster from getting into any sort of scoring rhythm.
Now on the other side of things, it was only 4 hits for Wareham on opening night, but they were timely hits that led to runs.
Darren Baker with a triple, an RBI triple. Guangarena also hit an RBI single later in the game. They were timely, but Wareham did leave a lot of runners on base. They left 7 on base, so there was certainly more room for scoring. Couldn't capitalize on every single offensive opportunity, but they did take advantage, and enough advantage in that game to lead to a victory.
Either way, Wareham wins just their 3rd season opener in the last 7 seasons, and they're 1-0 here in 2019. And now let's look ahead to tonight's matchup with the YD Red Sox. YD comes in 1-1 this season. They've put up 11 runs in 2 games.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Yeah, they're only 1-1, but you know what? They can score. So the pitching needs to be dominant again. If this game for Wareham is anything like it was on opening night, this is going to be a good game for Wareham, but this is a different looking offense than they faced against Brewster.
Before we break down this one a little more, let's send it to Addison Van Patten on the sideline.
One of the area's best restaurants is located right up the street, Brewfish Bar and Eatery. Brewfish offers 20 rotating craft beers on tap and creative pub food. Check out their off-the-menu brunch with a Bloody Mary bar and $5 mimosas on Sundays. Join us for outdoor dining and drinks under the tent, or for live music every weekend, located on Route 105 in Marion.
Addison Van Patten here with manager Jerry Weinstein. Now, win on Monday, rain out yesterday. Now we're here at Monan Park on Wednesday. What do you have? What did you prepare for in the past 2 days for today's game?
Well, yesterday we didn't know we weren't going to play until late in the day, and so we had a light workout there and let the guys go and regroup. They were happy for that, I guess. And then it helped us for our preparation today because we got our scouting from our analytics guys and just gave us a little downtime and step back and take a breath. And we've been hammering these guys pretty good, and a little breath, fresh air, and a little break is good.
Now, Bryce Elder was your starter on Monday. He allowed no runs through the third. You have Connor Larkin today. What do you expect from him?
Well, I really don't know. It's really the first time I will have seen him in a game. We saw him in a sim game, and we'll find out.
So that begs a good question. With so little prep time here in the summer, what do you do to prepare and determine your starters in such a short season?
Well, we predetermine who's going to start, and then as we see guys pitch, then we adapt and adjust as we go.
All right. Thank you, Coach, for talking to me. Back to you guys.
Welcome to Around the Cape. I'm your host, Ryan LeMay. I am the beat writer for the Gatemen this summer. All summer long, I'm going to be keeping you updated on what's going on around the league. I want to start with the Chatham Anglers. The Anglers came very close to winning their first Cape League title since 1998, but were swept by the Wareham Gatemen in the championship series. Safe to say the Anglers are out for revenge this series, already off to a 2-0 start to start the season. They defeated the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 5-4 after trailing 4-1 in the 8th inning and miraculously come back to win the game in extras. In the second game, it was a similar story as they scored 5 runs in the 7th and 8th inning to come from behind and defeat the Cotuit Kettleers 7-6. They are playing the Falmouth Commodores tonight. Speaking of the Falmouth Commodores, they have a very impressive roster this season with 15 players from the top 25 schools in Division I baseball. One of those players is Blake Dunn from Western Michigan, who was 2 for 4 with 2 runs batted in this first game of the season against the Harwich Mariners, defeating them 7-2. I'm going to bring you some more updates from the Cape League after this.
Clobbered high and deep to right center field, and this one is gone, a home run.
Eastern Propane and Oil is the Wareham Gatemen home run sponsor. Each time a home run is hit by a Gatemen player, Eastern Propane and Oil donates a camp scholarship to a deserving youth. Eastern Propane and Oil, we're in your neighborhood.
Welcome back to Around the Cape. Next, I want to talk about the Orleans Firebirds. Last season, the Orleans Firebirds struggled, posting the worst record in the league. This year, it's been an up-and-down start, as in the first game of the season, they defeated the Bourne Braves 2-0 behind some stellar pitching, but in the second game of the season, they were blown out by the WarehamYD Red Sox 8-2. And it was strange because Andrew Abbott of Virginia was on the mound for the Firebirds, who was fantastic last season, but he allowed 5 runs in his first start. Next, I want to talk about the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Cotuit Kettleers. It was a great opening day for the Cotuit Kettleers as they defeated the WarehamYD Red Sox 5-4 behind a great pitching performance from Kyle Nicholas from Texas Christian, who put out 6 batters in a row in the 8th and 9th inning to earn a close. As for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, they were defeated in their first game of the season to the Chatham Anglers, and they're looking to bounce back as well. Lastly, I want to talk about the Bourne Braves and the Harwich Mariners. They both lost in their first game of the season, and this is a good chance for them to build some confidence early on in the season and get their season going in the right direction. That's all. Now back to Gabe and Jonah.
Shop from home year-round on Gatemen.org. You can customize your Gatemen gear from any device, anywhere. We offer a large selection of apparel and unique gifts 24/7, 365. Hard to find sizes, colors, and styles. Youth Clinic registration is also available. Visit us today and remember us for holiday gifts at Gatemen.org.
Thanks, Ryan, for all the updates around the Cape. Tonight, it's WarehamYD at BC High. Starting lineups are in. Who's a guy you look for in that YD lineup?
Their catcher, Austin Wells, is pretty remarkable. He had a great season with Arizona this year. Hit over 350, hit 7 triples, 6 stolen bases as a catcher. He provides you speed, he provides you contact, provides you power. He could do it all. That's a big reason why he won the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year award, the first Arizona Wildcat to ever win that award. He's pretty good.
And now for Wareham, Baker and Antico both had RBIs on opening night, but you're looking somewhere else.
Yeah, their leadoff guy, Matt Rudick, he was a bit of an underlying story of the game. He had 4 walks. He's a guy who knows how to get on bases, which is what you want out of your leadoff hitter. So he's a guy who I think could be a difference maker in this game.
Starting pitchers tonight, it's Carlos Lamelli for YD. What do you like about him?
Well, he's a guy who doesn't really throw strikeouts. He had about 58 strikeouts this year and 88 innings pitched. That doesn't really scare you, but he still had an ERA that was just above 3, so he's going to pitch to contact. He's not going to put you away, but he's a guy who knows how to locate his pitches. Doesn't walk a whole lot of batters, so great command.
And for Wareham, it's Connor Larkin tonight out of Penn State. He had a pretty good year for the Nittany Lions.
He did have a pretty good year for the Nittany Lions. Pitched about half as many innings as Lamelli did, and only 2 fewer strikeouts. That's the kind of guy we're dealing with. So he's a guy who will strike you out. So that's who you're going to have to look out for when it comes to Larkin.
It's going to be a good one tonight. Wareham and YD, the Gatemen 1-0, the Red Sox 1-1. We'll talk to you post-game on the Gatemen Broadcast Network.